Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Guile here, and welcome back to the Forged Alliance Forever promotional series. Custom 6v6, mostly pro action on the cards this afternoon. How very exciting. And boy, do we need it, especially our American friends. Goodness me, guys. Let me tell you, the whole world is watching, and we're praying that you guys just sort it out, because it's getting a little crazy over there. Yes, I think we all need to calm down. Yes, all Black Lives Matter, as do everybody else's. Can we all just stop looting and burning and racially abusing one another now? That would be amazing. Awesome. That's dealt with. Simulate the violence, guys. Come inside, watch titanic metal machines battle it out on this marvelous game instead. That's the advice, but no one will listen. That's what a shame. Let's get on today for our own benefit anyway. As we said, custom 6v6, and that action is going to go down on adaptive Hilly Plateau. I'm ready, you guys are ready, and the players are sure as hell ready. So let's go on over to the game zone and see how they're going to get on. Ching. Ka-ching. Instant loading. That's what I like to see. Team 1 at the top as per usual. Team 2 down here at the bottom. I'm going to slow it up to give me a chance to get through all of these intros, because things always kick off on Hilly Plateau faster than you expect. Starting up here in Halliburton Orange, going UEF for Team 1. It is Blast, and he's opening first land. His first teammate over here, our first misclick today. It's Supernova. He's gone Cybrin, bless him. And he's opened first land in Burgundy Red. Team member number 3 down here. Another Cybrin, this time an electric blue. He's gone first land. It's SMS. Over to the middle now. Interesting front row configuration on this adaptive Hilly Plateau. Everyone lumped on the front row in one big clump, so it should be pretty defensible. But yeah, it's Smurf Hunter, another Cybrin, this time in mellow yellow. He opened first land. Team member number 5 over here in baby pink. It's Francais, and he went Cybrin. Definitely a theme developing here. And he went first land. And last but not least, thank goodness, another UEF. It's Jenstead on his way to the middle. He went baby blue, opening first land. So 2 UEF and 4 Cybrin there for Team 1. Let's check out Team 2 down here in Spetsnaz Green Versatile. It's Corliss, another Cybrin, and he went first land. There's a free move ping for you. Get your ass out to the middle, that's what that means. Revenant over here is playing air, and he's gone first air. How very sensible. And he's gone Cybrin. How very not. In Pontiff White this time. Let's stop making a Cybrin issue, because everybody's got Cybrin. I can't slam absolutely everybody. I have a feeling I'm going to slam this next guy, though. Already on his way towards the middle. He's gone Seraphim. He's gone Ferrari Red, which is very apt, because his name is FAF Need Communism, as everywhere else in the world is pretty sure nowhere needs more communism, and hopefully this guy dies first. Onto the front row, it's Hibernian, and he's got UEF in Combat Green. He's gone first land. Lil Sid down here in Elephantine Grey, another Seraphim. He's on his way to the middle. He went first land and went Seraphim, and last but not least, another Seraphim. Lots of Seraphim there for Team 1. It's Empty Noob on his way to the middle in Vivacious Violet. That is legally the way you have to say that, by the way. It has to be Vivacious Violet. And he's gone first land. So there we have it. Team 2, what do we have here? It was 3 Seraphim, 2 Cybrin, and a UEF. A little bit more of a mix going on, racially speaking. No love for the Aeon today, but that's pretty usual. 92% game quality. That's what we here call a balanced game, so looking forward to that. Average team totals for their rating, 1667 and 1683. That's pretty darn good. Above that Pro Joe cutoff that we arbitrarily set at 1500. I don't think it actually means that much anymore. The standard has definitely improved. It probably should be more like 1400, but hey, that's just the way it is. Let's get on before my singing takes over. We'll knock that up to 0 regular speed. Who's still in their base? Rearguard air position is their Supernova for Team 1. Would expect the same for Team 2. Yeah, indeed. Revenant back here. Both of them sitting in the base, getting their base up to spec to try and get the first aircraft out. But otherwise, I think absolutely everybody is going hell for leather for the middle, where of course there is an awful lot of maths. Oodles and oodles, as my old English teacher would have said. Apparently I didn't spend a lot of time paying attention, being heavily dyslexic. First couple of shots likely to go off soon, I would imagine. between the ACUs of Empty Noob here and Genster. They're going to stop to scoop up some mass. Francais also joining the party. Hibernian and Sid moving in there from the southwest as well. SMS just over here to the east. Selen out from Empty Noob, going to give themselves a little bit of intel coverage there from Team 2. Cheeky little bit of lab play en route round the edge of the valleys down here from SMS. That'll be potentially putting some pressure on the backfield here for Corliss, but Corliss already out with a Mantis of his own. He's got some moles out, so he should see this coming and be able to swat that before that causes any potential issues for expanding engineers. Smurf Hunter already almost at the middle, and most of these guys, these ACUs, all present in the same locale, but definitely focusing on mass harvesting rather than putting damage down on their opponent. You never see so many ACUs in such a small space. It's about to go off! Yeah, baby! That's what we like. Very exciting stuff. It's going to go off right after they scoop all these stones. It's a slight little bit of a killjoy factor there. T2 upgrade on the way for who is that? That is Smurf Hunter. 13% done there and climbing. That's a very early upgrade. Hopefully he'll be able to sustain that. He's got a lot of mass stored up thanks to all of that reclaim. First couple of shots being exchanged now between FAF Needs Communism and SMS. Nothing particularly devastating as they both back away. T1 bombers inbound from Francais. Drops going down now already from Supernova. Just dropped some engineers up to the top left hand corner, and now dropping more off potentially at the front, which is right by the forward expansion, or where the forward expansion is being planned. Whether or not it goes up is another thing for Blast. Steady stream of T1 bombers over the center from Francais. Nice pick up there, takes out an engineer belonging to Sid. Another bomber inbound. That first lead bomber gets taken down by defending interceptors from Team 2. He's right over the top of Empty Noob's base, but he's going to sidestep what is a very, very abundant number of clumped engineers there, but he does pick one up in Corliss's base. Surely he's going to come back for another run on some of these NGs there. These two are busy upgrading a T2 mechs. That will have to complete on its own. We'll get some other assistance elsewhere. Nice little pick up there. So that's 4 engineer kills for that bomber, and still running. He's got a little fighter escort there from Supernova, Team 1's air player. Gun upgrade on the way for FAF Need Communism. I wonder, did Francais finish that upgrade? It was him, wasn't it? No, maybe it wasn't. Not seeing an upgrade completed on any of these guys. Oh, no, it wasn't. Hang on a sec. Smurf Hunter. Yes, he did. So that is a handy bit of tech in the middle with extra build capacity now. That'll give Team 1 an advantage to locking down the center. And if they can force FAF Needs Communism, to cancel that upgrade, they'll be even further ahead. Remember, we do have planes circling over this portion from Supernova, so he should be well aware that there's an upgrade on the way there. And indeed, here comes the point defense creep. Cerberus turret under construction in the middle there. That gun upgrade is 50% done. If you can get another T2 PD in range, that won't be quite in range, I don't think. Just outside, and also hasn't actually got a radar signature on that comm as yet. A little bit of an engage going down between Hibernian and Francais over here. Hibernian with the advantage on the field, of course, that extra 2,000 hit points rather on the base health of the comm. Always helpful in those situations. So the engineer that was working on a forward base there for Blast got taken out. That factory about 60% done there. That looks like he's on his way to retake the territory. He's also going to get a T2 upgrade on his comm, which will help him lock down that area, so that should be nice. SMS branching out with his comm. Callers down here on an upgrade. That's about 65-70% done there. Can SMS force a cancel though? Certainly looks like that's his intent. Marching straight in on Corliss's base. Call us a 1600 though versus SMS a 1300, so you'd hope he'd have this under control. SMS located the comm, and he's going to take this opportunity to put some damage down on it. Crazy, I think, to cancel the upgrade now. Just needs to tank the damage. There we go, and layer it down the PD, which is what he's doing. Goes straight for a T1. Focuses in on the hostile Mantis. There's the next one, and SMS is going to have to withdraw now. And indeed, he does. Still got a chance to put about 30% of his comms health in terms of damage, but overcomes some Corsairs there from Francais. This could be nasty. He's got no assistance right now. Look at the interceptors swarm down to cover these Corsairs. This is a real solid snipe attempt here from Team 1. Factory immediately starts spitting out Sky Slammers, but there's a lot of aircraft here for those ground-to-air units to contend with, and Corliss goes into the red. Could this be our first ejection inside 10 minutes? Corliss doing the Hilly Plateau Fandango, down to 1,000 hit points. He's duking well, but he can't keep this up forever. He needs those planes out of the sky, and so far he's not getting the assistance he needs. Boom, baby! Corliss goes out in under 9 minutes, 8 minutes and 50 odd seconds. He goes down. Big early win on the field there for Team 1 as Team 2 goes down a player. It's one of their mid-rated players, the 1600 there. And suddenly big old power vacuum on this side of the map. SMS already in the area with a decent amount of Mantis. Could try and circumnavigate this ACU here from Empty Noob, who's pushing eastwards. Get around it. Might be able to get those Mantis in the backfield here and in amongst some of these sensitive buildings. We do have comms in the area though. Sid withdrew from the front a while ago. He's getting a T2 upgrade, and Revenant still in his base, of course, as the air player never actually left. Strong solid counter push up here. On the move though, Hibernian and FAF need communism up here with both their comms. Hibernian's taken a little bit of damage. He's in the yellow, but still looking pretty comfortable at about 8,800 HP. Gun damage upgrade on the way for Blast. That's going to complete. And we've got another comm right next to it. Jensted over here. He's got the Zeph-Amp gun damage upgrade and the nano repair. So nice bit of regen health-wise for him. That's a chunky looking comm right there. He's also got some shield coverage, and there's a decent amount of spam. So this could be an interesting tussle developing over on that side. Engineers being airdropped around the map there from Francais. Francais, Team 1's top-rated player, handling a little bit of the air coverage and putting pressure air-to-ground-wise on that flank, which is what took out Corliss. Decent number of Corsairs still alive. Now he's already running interference by expanding around the map. Unlucky engineers on board that. Dragonfly gets taken out. Dragonfly still operational, and he went to drop off an engineer that had died there. You see that? Still had the order queued up for one that wasn't alive anymore. That last engineer did not fare too well, but could this be another ejection here from Team 2 as Hibernian getting cornered by Blast and Genstad going into the red. He's got FAF Needs Communism over to his left, but I don't think that's going to be much help. They smell blood, they're going to get it. 11 minutes and 23 seconds. He goes down. Suddenly Team 2 down 2 players and their future looking bleak. That's got to buoy your confidence if you're Team 1. FAF Need Communism still relatively comfortable HP wise. He's got that gun upgrade as well, but it's going to be hard to fend off against 2 ACUs, both of them with double upgrades on board. Suddenly looking very tricky for Team 2. Taking a look on generated eco where these guys are at now. Team 1 Not as far ahead as you might think. 289 versus 247 on generated eco. Could be a lot worse considering they're down 2 players on Team 2. Overall, thanks to reclaim, they're actually up, and maybe, in fact, thanks to generated eco as well, might have been doing a little bit better. 155 versus 160. Some of that, of course, will be the cannibalization of Corliss and now Hibernian's assets. Attack missiles flying across the map now. Going after some forward T2 mexes belonging to FAF needs communism. To accept from mass nationalization. Not enough investment in defense. Base developing there though. A couple of T1 PDs, he's got some T2 flak. It looks like he means to stay. That's where he wants to hold out. T2 upgrade was started for Jensen. That's paused at 1%. ASF's now out for both teams. Looks like a reasonably even split. 7 ASFs on the field there for Supernova. Revenant handling air predominantly for Team 2 is on 5, so near enough as to make little difference. Empty Noob pushing out with some T2 ground. Shiva there, and a few Zooies going to take down these forward land factories belonging to SMS. Busying himself around the map. Say going for T3 now on that com. Doubt wants to get some ion reactors up to feed the air production, which it seems to be investing in most heavily. Certainly has paid off. Still got his Corsairs down at the bottom right of the map. Now they're prioritising the Ilshivas. Take out that T2 ground. Alleviate the pressure on SMS, but not really down in that corner of the map now in any major fashion. Smurf Hunter, who's been sat in the middle of the map, hasn't developed it massively, and that's the thing with Hilly Plateau. You rarely see major investment in the middle. Hard to grab it and hold it. Proximity to your opponent's central bases is just too great. It's a game not differing in that respect, like many others, and we're starting to get into the phase of the game where pressure eases off just a little bit. Quite bad. Seem to have disabled minimap once again. I know you guys like to have that extra view on the side. Taking a look at mass leaders now, and Lil Sid just zoomed in on there. Actually, that was Empty Lil Sid just over to the left. Has fully upgraded core mass up to T3. Empty Noob still working on his there. But here he is at 163. Next highest are Smurf Hunter and then Supernova 128, 127 respectively. And then the last three figured players are Empty Noob on 111 and Revenant on 100. Everybody else is sub 100. With FAF communism predictably short stacking as only a true communist can. Hello, what's going on over here? Francais, you cheeky little beggar. Hasn't got a teleporter, he's got personal stealth, so he has, on his Todd, been lifted over here thanks to that dragonfly and just made his way down the edge of the map and has got a little stealth base going on to give you an idea of how effective that is. Right under the commie's nose. And he's going straight for attack missile snipe. He's queued up 6 tactical missile launchers. They're busy constructing their first missiles. Under shield coverage over here, though. You would assume he's going for that. That's the shortest amount of distance. You take a look at how things look from Francais' perspective. There it is. Someone spotted an experimental under construction. There it is. Sid, almost 50 or over 50% done now on that assault bot. It's not bad going for 18 minutes. Now, where are we at? They've all got a missile loaded now, except for that one. There it goes. So those are ready to fire, but they need that ACU to stop moving. Has he spotted it? Is that what's going on? Suspiciously wandering in that direction, and he's gonna stop. I'll just stand there. I'll just stand there. He's got radar. No, there he goes. So this is part of a withdrawal, just generally. Oh, he's gonna discover it. Hello. Oh, he leads the target by too much, though. And then the 2 ACUs engage. He goes straight for autogun construction. Communism is going to back up. More TAC missiles launch. He doesn't want to stand there and face off shielded T1 PD, which is increasing in number all the time. That would be a mistake, so he's going to have to back up. The sniper attempt was nearly perfect. Just got rumbled. Instead, he's going to go after the MEPSs, after important resources. Meanwhile, a push is underway over in the east from Empty Noob. It's pushing up towards SMS's base. Communism, though, not happy about the presence of this base. Is going to stand there and get taken out anyway. Why would you do that? Got him with a TAC missile, thanks to the fact that he'd already been badly damaged in the first exchange. He was just like, I can't have that battery there. I'm too exposed. I've got to put some damage down, take out some of those batteries. I'm assuming some of those missile launchers if he can. And that's Team 2 going down a 3rd player. It's now a 6v3. And Empty Noobs encroach on SMS is now being thwarted by a single brick and a horde of broadswords out from Blast. So he's transitioned nicely into T3 gunships. In come the gunships, they're from above. But Sid now looking to do some damage, claw things back, show him what you're made of. With an Ithota stomping up the middle. Base, mini base in the center for Smurf Hunter, predictably laid waste to. Broadswords brought in, but so are the ASFs there from Revenant. They are just ignoring the fighter coverage and going straight after the gunships. Taken out all of them, very nice, and now they are going to entangle themselves with Supernova's ASFs, and then withdraw over the top of all of this flak, which is moving up with this Athota. Can they get in there before this Monkey Lord is completed? That's definitely the target, going straight in to Smurf Hunter's main base here. That does complete. It's going to be very badly damaged. I'm dubious it's going to, with the rate at which all the engineers are dying off in the plasmatic flame. Nope. There it goes. Those are still looking pretty strong. And moving in the center, and Smurf Hunter's ACU not far away at all. More gunships being brought in. We've got a whaler in now as well from Supernova. They've got to try and finish off this assault box, but it's too late. He snags Smurf Hunter and pulls one back. Nicely done there from Sid, Team 2's 2100 player. And still he's going to carry on pushing forward. If we can see anything through the bloom-enhanced nuclear fire. Still marching forward. Any other ACUs in the area? He's in the middle now of Genstad's base. Lots of gunships around. It's going to die in there. He wants to try and take out these fusion reactors if he can. He snags 2 of them and he's killed all of the core mass. The Ironstorm will do yet more damage in there. They want to get their gunships out. Pull your gunships out. Ouch. So Genstad badly damaged. He's down to 39 mass per tick. So he is muted for the foreseeable future while he attempts to rebuild, and they dealt with Smurf Hunter as well. So brilliant bit of play there from Sid, with a bit of coverage as well from Revenant, getting those ASFs in there for the first engage. But Francais, who pushed up on that western flank and managed to snipe Communism, well, sort of a snipe, doesn't really count. Managed to pick him off with a TAP missile, but he's still burrowing in down here and is now building up mass spam with all of these factories. Lots and lots of Medusas being pumped out now for pressure to be sent in, but there's a Monkey Lord inbound. Francais wants to be careful here, or maybe not. Lots of gunships that can tear through the HP on that Monkey Lord. More whalers inbound as well, so although he's going to get near Francais, I don't think he's going to get the scalp. As the whalers get into range, that is going to rip that Monkey Lord a new one. Down it goes. Oh, and they're going to kill a bunch of Corsairs off over here. Now this is a problem in itself for Team 2, as Revenant attempts to get under shield coverage over here from Sid. Sid's got a bunch of Burstmaster flak over here, which would be great against the gunships if only he could have got there, but he doesn't make it. That is the air player from Team 2 going down. It's just Sid now and Empty Noob who are going to try and carry this from an extensively poor position that they find themselves in after the demise of their air player at the back there. Revenant 1700 as well, so there is their top 2 rated players left. If there is one silver lining for Team 2, that they've still got their main ringers in play, but goodness me, if you could pick any team right now, it certainly wouldn't be Team 2. Some Medusas filing in the back. He said that, though. They're actually still ahead on generated eco. If you actually look at it, it's 534 versus 605 in favour of Team 2. And that's 2v, where are we at? 5. Admittedly, Genstad's been very badly damaged, but still, that's some excellent eco we've seen from Empty Noob and Lil Sid. Empty Noob predominantly is pulling in an awful lot. Actually, they're both up on the 300. Lil Sid was struggling with a power lock there for a moment, but both of these guys up over 300. Very nicely done. Now, how are they going to do against all of the spam is the question. Experimental should tear through that with no real difficulty. We've got a bajillion Cerberus turrets flying up back here. So it's nice, they've still got the cyber and tech. Got engineers gifted over at some point. Got some multilateral options. From, say, getting in a Continental to evac his comm. I think that's probably a wise decision. How far back is he taking it? Up here to the top. And now we're starting to see strats massing up here for Supernova. Going for another snipe. We've also got a bit of pressure over here, some T3 units, but also some T1 from SMS, running into a few banks of T2 point defense for Empty Noob. Should contend with those units without any great difficulty. A lot of T2. A lot of them missing. That should deal with that. Taking a battering on his Othota once again from those gunships. Broadswords from Blast, laying the smackdown. Going to get the Othota as it tries to get back to safer territory. And then they switch it up to go after the flak sitting there, and he's put a lot of damage down on these broadswords. So this little spam facility up here for Francais still in operation, which will annoy Sid and Empty Noob just a little bit. And Francais, you nut job! Airlifting his comm over here now to try and do some damage. Some very risky play for this part of the game this late on. Guess he knows what he's doing. Very exciting play nonetheless. Always good fun. Going straight for some auto guns. Needs to get a radar up. Hasn't even got radar signatures on these positions, which are very close over here. Wants to do down here what he's just done over there. Properly shut down Sid and Empty Noob. Tried to kettle them into this space over here. Probably not a good word to be using right now. Sure if the riot police are employing it over there, but it's what they would be doing here. Nuke launcher complete, about 30% done on its first nuke, and getting lots of assistance from Blast's engineers. So we're going to step into the nuclear warhead phase of the game. We've got some strategic missile defense for Genstead over at the front. Monkey Lord on the way for SMS. Hello, Supernova getting a laser on his comm. We're going to see some cheeky light cyber and laser snipey action going on. Perhaps Francais going for another tactical battery down here, hoping that from this angle perhaps he has vulnerable firing solutions on Empty Noob's resource operation. Very careful though, he is all by his lonesome. right the way over here, and he's now got siege tanks inbound. Presumably, he's got overcharge. Or T1 PD going up all the time. Deal with some of these turrets, but hello, and there it is. Corsairs going in on Francais. Didn't get a chance to get any anti-air up, and all the way back here he's not going to get any coverage, and that is huge for Team 2. I mean, monumentally impactful for both teams, but pressure now going to be released from Sid over here, and top-rated player from Team 1 down and out. It did look risky when he went it. I mean, I'm all for risk, and I love when people drop their ACUs in other people's faces. It's probably the time I get most excited. It doesn't happen as much anymore as it should. I just remember the old TLO days where that dude couldn't go 5 minutes without hot dropping his comm in someone's garden.
Strategic launch detected.
Gets me wetter than soup day. Just don't see it enough. There's the first nuke. Now, what are we looking at SMD wise? Well, we've got one loaded, ready to go, assuming that's coming straight for the middle, which it looks like it is. Not going to drop short. Yeah, so that's going to get taken out. Team 1 have leaked ahead though, eco-wise. 878 versus 686, 902 now. I'm presuming much of that is going to be reclaimed as they hoover up what's been dropped by Francais. The destruction of his base and whatnot. Blast actually had tried to augment the pressure being brought in down here by setting up his own spam facilities, but that looks like Sid might be about to deal with that position now. But Francais has gone down. Always good to see aggressive play though, not going to judge him for it. And if he'd have managed to get more flak on the ground, this could have worked. Maybe if he'd brought his comm in with a support commander or two to assist, a little bit of extra build capacity down there, could have been very hard to deal with. Phase of the game where everything just goes quiet. They all start working on new mega projects, experimentals. Fat Boy inbound there from Blast, another one on the way for Genstead. Quantum Gateway under construction. Noob completes another experimental. Corsair pressure from Supernova trying to take off some HP off Noob's Ethota in the middle. Watch out. T3 mobile anti-air on the scene. Zapping those T2 fighter bombers out of the sky once they've had their sortie. Drop that first load. SMS saying to start RT. Getting a lot of assistance. Blast. Now, how's Noob react to the Fat Boy fire? Gonna drop back a little. Continue to move up with his Ethota. He'll want to take that perimeter monitoring station out, which he does. That's going to curtail vision nicely for Team 1. Broadswords lurking though from blast. Fighter screen available nearby. They'll want to be careful of those lightning tanks, but they'll want to get in, put down as much damage on that Ethota as they can. They'll take a few blasts here and there. Do they switch up onto the lightning tanks? They want to be very careful. There's a lot of them in here, but they are going to get the Ethota down, and that's going to put the lightning storm down in amongst those vehicles. Throw a little extra damage. Definitely worth it. Noob has to withdraw. Nice bit of play there. Advanced nano repair on the way for Empty Noob. ARAS T3 advanced nano repair. Extra survivability for that comm who's already surrounded by T2 PD and Flak, who's taking no chances from some sordid cyber and tele-snipe, which we did see was a possibility earlier. Yeah, Supernova has got the microwave laser on board, but he's not got the teleporter yet, so he's positioned that just in case as an option. And here we go into artillery phase. Duke under construction. It's about 30% done, with a lot of shields ready to be built as well. Meanwhile, those fat boys we saw being produced earlier now putting down some fire on those vanguard forces of Empty Noobs. Slowly they're going to backtrack. Check out this counter Fat Boy plan though. Massive bank of T2 artillery planned right across the front to range out those Fat Boys. Got any shield coverage though while they're being built? It'd be a bad idea to get some of these Anathenas up there to cover the engineers while they complete their tasks. Sid locks onto some of these broadswords with a handful of ASFs before they get wiped out by Supernova's air horde. That's the only way to describe that. SMS running some cheeky T2 fighter bomber raids down here. One strays a little too close to this installation over here and gets whacked by that lightning tank. Devastatingly awesome, those Seraphim lightning tanks. And that Duke completes, along with its 4 T3 heavy shield generators, so that's going to be pretty solid, and it's already got its first shells inbound. We have counter artillery on the way, yes we do. One disruptor at the back there, about 30% done, belonging to Sid, not currently shielded though, and sitting very close to some volatile T3 reactors. But the incoming artillery fire is sparse at the moment, just one shell raining down every 15-20 seconds or so. Impacting on the shields for almost negligent effect. Oh, the Monkey Lord strays too far forward for SMS. That gets picked off with ease as those chickens from Empty Noob stroll forward, confident that they've got some coverage from these mobile shield generators. They can take a little bit of Fat Boy fire. Probably don't want to take all of that Ravager fire though. Gatling defense turrets just laying into the chassis of that lead Ithota there. It's going to do huge amounts of damage, and of course, they'll take it down. And of course, problems for the units that are coming forward, but Empty Noob really committing to this. They break through that T2 shield gen with ease, take out the Ravager turrets. Where are the gun sheeps? In they come. No, he's hanging back. He's worried about the lightning tanks. I think you just got to go for it. You've got to take down that Ithota as quickly as you can. But there's a lot of anti-air firepower coming off those tanks. 2 volleys, and that entire gunship squadron is almost dealt with. Ouch! Down goes the support commander belonging to Supernova. And those Ithotas are still looking pretty comfortable right now. What a devastating combination of units from Empty Noob. He turns the lead one around a little bit. Does a pivot to engage once more. Where's Jensen's comm? There he is. Usually at this stage of the game, you don't see the experimentals make quite so much ground, but here they're making lots of ground. Even the seemingly impregnable UEF defense is not standing up to it today. Jensen, you should have been going backwards, not forwards, mate. They've locked onto the comm. Shield's collapsing as he tries to get underneath. Oh no! Massive chain reaction, and his comm was standing right by it when they went, taking off yet more HPs, down to 3,600. One of the Ithotas is dipped into the red, the other one nearby is almost in the red. We've got Corsairs coming in all the time from Supernova, trying to take it down, but Jensen's gone. 39 minutes. What a wonderful pickup from Empty Noob. Completely turning this game around. And down with him will go that Duke as well. Both of the Ithotas are down, but definitely worth it. They have another artillery piece further back. What a wonderful piece of play. Still seems to be artillery coming that way. I'm probably staring right at it. This is what usually happens. Definitely hear it. Still see those projectiles. I'm assuming they're not ghost signatures. That does happen sometimes, but no. It's coming out. There it is. That's the problem with Cyber and artillery. It's just too nondescript. It's like all their other spiky shit. The blamed Cybrid architecture for my vision fail. So at least they've got that to kind of keep some pressure on. The trouble is, there's just as much, if not more, artillery coming the other way now. And look at that, what that's done eco-wise. Team 2 on 1.1k generated eco compared to the 722 now from Team 1. Sorry, Team 2 on 1.1k. Words are hard. I went to bed extra early last night as well to try and not ruin this cast for you all today. It really hasn't worked. The words are hard today. Blast shielding up his base, trying to get more artillery up. So that was looks like that's a wreck that's been capitalized on, where Jensen had his artillery. A little bonus to reconstruction. But goodness me, if this game hasn't turned on its head. Down from, what was it, 2 versus 5 at one point? Something like that. I think it was. Smurf Hunter went down first. Maybe it was 2 versus 6 at one point. I think it was. No, I think Francais down here. Maybe it was a 6v2. Answers on a postcard, guys, if you can remember. You, of course, can just rewind the cast and tell me. Let us know in the comments but certainly Sid and Empty Noob have done a phenomenal job, as you would expect them to do, as they so often manage. Yes, there is artillery issue that they have to guard against, but they are ahead, I think, in the artillery stakes. And there's a lot of nasty stuff in the middle. Empty Noob still pumping out those Athotas. Like the blasters. Using that fat boy to good effect, trying to force this group of units of Empty Noobs out of the middle, so they have longer to prepare from any impending attack. There we go, so second disruptor for Sid complete. And that nuke launcher was blasts, and that's ready to go. So he's got another one that he can launch. If he managed to take out an SMD, that would be a huge turnaround. Sneak a nuke in. Shells going straight for the SMD by the looks of things. Either that or it's Sid's comm. I would imagine it is the SMD. What are we looking at there? Actually got two of them. There's another one up front as well, and that's got one loaded. So it's not as easy as all that.
Strategic launch detected.
Oh, he could just launch the nuke right away at the units in the middle. Why not? Imagine Noob would split his units up, change the trajectory, anticipate that that could be coming towards the middle, considering there's so many
launch detected.
SMDs around. Looks like he's doing exactly that in a nice way. He's going to lose a few units in there for sure, but the Athota should be clear. Might take a bit of damage. No, it's out of the blast radius. And Team 2 launch their nuke as well. I think that might get shot down if that carries all the way in. Unless they've taken out just about everything over here, which it looks like they've managed to. SMS was very badly shielded. That nuke does get shot down as it heads straight in deep into Supernova and Blast's territory. But SMS was vulnerable to artillery attack, and you can see just what it's done. His base is effectively gone, and it's now a 2v2. Another masterful stroke from Team 2. SMS looked say deadly, but definitely annoying from T2's perspective in the early game, but didn't seem to transition nicely into late game so much. And this is definitely flipped into Team 2's favor now. One engineer from Empty Noob creeps into SMS's base and starts trying to harvest the unfinished megalith. New definitions of cheap right there. Engineers trying to get in here as well from Team 1 to score some of this mass in the middle, but with those two Athotas guarding it, it's going to be a hard sell. Looks like it's going Team 2's way instead. They've already got engineers there. Noob bring up those experimentals, going to snag these support commanders as well, belonging to Revenant. Sorry, not Revenant, Supernova. Using my Cybernair players there. Attack pings going out on the hordes of landed gunships. See see, wonder why he's not using them. Well, the answer is all these lightning tanks that just beasted his last squadron. Don't really have a way to deal with that right now. Got the fat boy on the ground up here, but they've got to do something, and indeed that's what they do. Wait for them to come forward. Going to lay the smackdown on the lead Ithota. Take massive damage from the lightning tank sitting behind. In come the fighter screen to try and take the pressure off those gunships, but it's not going to keep them alive. And that lead Ithota still doing pretty well. God, how strong is this combination, man? They just can't keep Empty Noob out of their bases with the shielded Ithotas and the lightning tanks. No combination of defense seems to be working tonight. I don't know if they've had a significant buff or what, but they're looking very tanky indeed. Almost unstoppable. Answer in the comment section if you know they've had a buff. You certainly look that way. That one's 5-starred. It's up to GC levels of HP. I'm not sure what the stats used to be. This one's on, well, that's on 5 stars as well now, but it was on 3. It was on about 85, so I think they might have had a hit point buff. But this could be game right here. One of the Ithotas is down in a very sensitive spot, though. The other one going strong on about 65-70% health, taking a lot of PD fire. Supernova nearby with the comm. He's got the microwave laser. He opens up. Finally gets to put it to some use. Eats a couple of Ithota shells and boom! My God. Just can't kill those Ithotas. I think they've been buffed and I think they've been over buffed. Certainly seems that way. Teleporter on the way for SMS. Tries to make some last-ditch play when all of the Cybran tech around him and infrastructure just goes kaflooey along with his teammate there. And then having lost the 2 Ithotas, Empty Noob is going to withdraw, but now there's very little left to stop these artillery shells from finishing the job. Teleporters at 92% complete, but he's got no gun upgrade, no microwave laser, he's got not even any engineering suite to help him lay down point defense on the other side, so it's little more than a token. Even if he does manage to get there, he's going to struggle. This looks like a done deal now for Team 2. A victory all at hand. Just a question of the formalities of actually winning the game at this point. Blast gets picked off by an artillery blast. Leaving SMS all by his lonesome. He does complete teleporter and he's trying to teleport now, but with 0 power now with his teammate gone. That is not going to happen, so he's going to sit there dreaming about teleporting somewhere for one final hurrah. If the artillery doesn't get him, the Ithotas that are on the way will. And that will be the end of a very entertaining comeback. Well played from Lil Sid and Empty Noob, who just, it's like they had it under control all the way. MVP, definitely Empty Noob. Lil Sid finishes him off with a Corsair Rush. But yeah, that combination right now, current spec of Ithotas, so 67,000 HP. That doesn't sound that much beefier than they used to be. I mean, I think they used to be around 60 odd. Might have had a few HP. I don't know if they've suddenly got more damage or what, but they just wouldn't die. It had Seraphim shield, mobile shield gen covering. That's not unusual. The lightning tanks were just tearing through the gunships, which is the weapon of choice that was being deployed here to try and deal with these Ithotas, but they got so much work done, just to devastating effect. Answers in the comment section if you do know of any major changes that have taken place. I don't follow it as closely as I should, so I'm always interested to hear from those who are in the know. But it might just be that Empty Noob has the mechanics down on that and he's using it in some way to better effect than people have done previously. But goodness me, that was awesome. Hope you enjoyed it, guys. I certainly did. There's always more to come from me in the future. Thank you, as always, to my Patreons. You guys help keep the channel alive. And details below this in each and every one of my videos, guys, if you would like to help keep this channel alive. It's vitally important now, more than ever, because it's my only source of income right now. It is, yeah, it's not great. It's not great. But thank you again to everybody who does support and to anyone who's planning to do it in the future. But until next time, guys, stay well and stay safe. This is Guile, signing out.